Welcome back to another rebuild here on Madden 26. Today we're going to be rebuilding the New York Giants, but through the fantasy draft. It's been a little while since we have done one, and on top of that, we're going to be spinning the wheel of position. So we have quarterback all the way down to long snapper, and we're going to be building our team through the draft with that wheel. I'm half tempted to also do that for the regular draft. The problem with that is you can't really build the team at that rate. I think it kind of comes down to what type of team we build through this fantasy draft first. But of course, if you guys do end up enjoying this video, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification also you know when the next upload is up. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel PK Plays for not Madden content. More importantly though, if you have any rebuild ideas of your own, let me know in the comment section below. I have a couple that I have saved that I think we're going to do soon enough. But anyways, let's go to the wheel. All right, we do, of course, have wheel. Obviously, the two best positions to get right away would be QB and edge, or edge, I suppose. And we're going to find out right now if we get any of those. Just don't be kicker, punter, fullback, long snapper. Oh, no. It's cooked. There is no way the first position is a kicker. All right, let's see what draft pick we have. I mean, in theory, we want, like, pick 32, right? Oh, my God. We're taking kicker 5 overall. That's crazy. Wait, Nick Folk's an 88 overall in the game now? Holy crap. He's also 40 years old. Aubrey at 30, I think, is fine. The problem is Aubrey in game is not very good, in my opinion. Like, he just misses so much. I mean, other than, like, Cam Little, though, I don't really know if there is. He's not star dev. I don't know if there's a guy that I really like anyways. I guess you're going to go Brandon Aubrey. He's the best overall. The one positive is we can take kicker off. We don't need multiple kickers, right? So there's that. Pick 28. We still should have a chance at an edge rusher. Okay, if we would have got fullback. No, not guard. This has not gone well. So do we have some options? We have Joe Tooney. We have Quentin Nelson. How old are these guys? Oh my God. I thought he was 30. He's 32. Quentin at 29, you could definitely get away with. And then on the other side, we have a glitch that's never been fixed. Quinn Miners is definitely the best option. So Quinn Miners is our second pick in the draft. Another little wheel. Maybe they'll give us edge rusher. I would take... No, not a center. I mean, we're going to have a sick offensive line, it seems. Well, I think there's really only one option here. It's Creed Humphrey. I mean, again, we have a sick offensive line. We'll take it, I guess. Could be worse. Maybe. I actually don't know if that's true because we got kicker to start. Pick 5 overall kicker. He's going to be making like $10 million per year. Edge. All right, I should have gotten rid of center, but center is so good that I'll allow it. I'll put him at guard or something like that. Especially when you get Eric McCoy, who definitely can play guard. So we'll allow it, even though I really wish I didn't. We'll allow it. We, of course, have taken center off. You could argue that after we get a guard, we're going to take guard off as well. QB? Edge. I don't know if there's edge rushers left. All right, so left end, you have maybe Gary Latu. Anyone else? Trayvon Walker, sort of. Thibodeau, Tuipulotu. Okay, not a huge fan. What about right end? Byron Young. He is a little older at 27, but it is an option. Oh, Abdul Carter. Thank the heavens we're safe. I'm also getting sick again, which is great. 2 sicknesses in 2 months. Fantastic. Sam linebacker. Okay. Thankfully, we don't get screwed because Leo Chanel's here, which is... Yeah, that's a good pick. That's not bad. Back to our friend the wheel. Not been really our friend, but, you know, it started off weak. It got better. And, you know, hey, again, it's getting better. Wide receiver, I'll take it. All right, I got to say, this is getting a little weird. We might actually go Cortland Sutton. I did not expect to see someone like him still here. Ikbuka. I mean, unless you're going to go Luther Burden. Maybe Golden. I mean, that might be the move. Wandale, he started at 24. It's okay. What about Ikbuka? You know, I haven't really used him either. Yeah, you got to go youth. You got to. All right. Wouldn't hate another wide receiver, though. Would not hate it. Quarterback? It's going to be edge, isn't it? It is QB. I don't think there's anyone here, though. Malik Willis, who's actually a 71 overall now. Did they do a roster update, like, recently? Maybe? Rattler, Shador Sanders. Huh. Who the hell is the option? Jalen Milroe, pick 8 or round 8. 23 for Shador, but he's like low throw power. Anthony Richardson. 23. Willis is too old. Riley Leonard's better than I would have thought. Do we go with someone new like Riley? Even though we've used Riley as well. Like, who else would you use? Like, Phillip Rivers, too old. Fields? Rattler at 24. Like, I've used Milrow a few times, but he is kind of like the guy. You also do have Anthony Richardson. It's been a while since we've developed Anthony Richardson. Let's go Anthony Richardson. Screw it. This would not be a terrible time for running back. That's all I got to say about that. Not going to get it, though. Tight end, I would actually prefer. Please. No way it's going to stop short. All right, tackles. Patrick Paul. That guy can sure block without giving up a penalty. Let me tell you that. 24 Ekwonu. Tackles are a little old, so it's like you can't really go for any of the older dudes. Fashion is no longer a super... Wait. I thought they nerfed him down to star, no? Am I a crazy person? I don't know if I really love him enough, though, at tackle. Spencer Brown. Could go Godecki. 26. A little older than I would have thought. What do you do? What do you do? I mean, all these other guys are really not the best. I mean, I guess Fashanu is a superstar. You just hope he develops because, you know, again, superstar dev. That's the move. Again, though, the draft has gone a bit better. Got screwed early, but it's gone all right after the... Oh, okay, why did I have to speak? Why did I have to speak? And I guess the option's Reggie Gilliam because use check is 34. Ricard's like 30, 31 as well, so getting close. Almost got a full roster now. This one is going to be tight end, I think. Maybe. Safety you definitely want late, so far it's going well in that regard. And the main man is still there, Kyle Pitts, 24 years old. I'm going to look around just in case, but I'm pretty damn sure we're taking Kyle Pitts, right? There's no real argument to be made. Fannin, if he was higher than normal, maybe. Maybe. I've seen him develop pretty nicely, but not for me. Not my cup of tea. Yeah, Kyle Pitts, he's still got a good year of Madden goatness until it's like, okay, he's 26 years old. No. All right, let's spin that damn wheel. What do we got? We have got Mike. Okay, I mean, that hopefully there's somebody still there. It is pretty hard not to go Bobby Widener, I must admit, but you do have Nakobe Dean. Is he normal? He is still normal. Trevin, is he normal? He's 22. I'd say Trevin's winning so far, but it's crazy because Bobby's almost 20 overall. It's higher, which is crazy. But, you know, you're trying to build this team up for the long term. You do have Drew Sanders. He's 23. He's normal. Wait, so he's normal, but Fashanu's superstar? What are we doing? What are we doing? I wish the buy dev actually worked, but it never does. Stutzman? I mean, I think Trevin Wallace, who has always been pretty good for us, is going to be the move. Bear Carter should be... He's not hidden. Okay. What did I say? Should be hidden, but he's not. Trevin Wallace, 22 years old. I mean, decently high potential. We'll leave Mike linebacker on there because there's more variety, whereas Sam backer, there's like none. There's no way they just gave us Mike twice. All right, I guess linebackers are coming off. Looks like we're taking Nakobe Dean after all. All right, it's thinning out a little bit. The position wheel is getting low. I can't believe we didn't get running back yet, by the way. Safety. Can't miss on Ransaw. I know he goes late, but I'm not risking it. Super speedy. See, they want to give us a dupe. Would love to see another edge rusher by now. Not long snapper. Corner? Dude, that's way too late. There's going to be nobody here. All right, cornerback. Kobe Durant. I guess you have Jerrion Jones. He's not the oldest. 24 years old. Maybe he is the guy. Not a huge fan, let me tell you. There's got to be somebody that's stuck around, right? There's got to be Terrion Arnold. Jahdae Barron. All right, we're good. Jahdae Barron. Hopefully we can get Terrion Arnold if they give us another corner. Oh, it's looking all right. No, slow down. Oh, we're safe, I think. Yep. And, of course, with edge, Mike Green's the guy. I was going to go with Landon Jackson, but he's a run stopper first. I don't really want that. I would have, but not today. Not today. Another cornerback. We're hoping for Arnold. I think it's corner. Damn, it's starting to zoom a little bit there. Jerrion Jones is still there, so worst case scenario, that's the guy. Terrion Arnold's also still there. Never had him develop, though, is the problem, so I'd prefer to go elsewhere if I can, but I don't think that's going to happen. Porter's 24. Banks is 24. Terrion should only be 23. Yeah. Got no choice. Terrion Arnold, that's the guy. or whatever I just said. All right, if we get corner, we'll do that final corner and then move on to a different position. Wide receiver. All right, what do we got? We do have a couple options. Troy Franklin, I guess Romeo Dobbs. Booty, is he still normal? He is. Why is Pure Saul all the way up here? 24 years old, I guess. Felt like he would have been gone, but I guess he is a little older than I would have thought. A.O. Manor, if I want to get a guy that I'm just going to mess up the pronunciation of his simple name a million times. What about the age? Looking for the hiddens. Pat Bryant. We've never developed him, though. That's the thing. That's the thing with Pat Bryant. I've never done that. What about Jaden Higgins as well? Kyle Williams, he is hidden. He's actually not bad at all. There's just too many options is the problem. You know, normally it's, oh, there's not enough options. There's too many. Like, what do you do? Dante Thornton's only a 68 overall, so I'm kind of chilling for the moment. Damn, like, what do you actually do? Keon Coleman, oh, thank you. Kyle Williams. I guess Kyle Williams. Let's try someone a little different. All right. Again, like corner. One more wide receiver until we pull it. Tackle. I mean, I could really use tackle. No way, it goes to safety. Damn. And all the safeties are, like, gone, I think. I mean, I'm not really seeing anybody, like, young-ish and developable. Everyone's a bit on the older side now, so I'm thinking Antonio Johnson's going to be our pick. Yeah, we really don't have many options. Kind of crazy. Antonio Johnson, 76 overall, 23-year-old, 85 hit power. I mean, he's not a bad player. It's just I want a better dev if possible. Again, it's thin now. We're almost done with the draft. Once we get all the starters, we're just going to sim it. And there goes the DT. And I think the DT we're going to take is Shamar Turner. There's a couple of options like Mike Hall and whatnot, but meh. Savion Jones lost his dev. I almost took him. I was like, oh, no dev. Never mind. All right, back to it. Back to it. Tackle. That'll do it. Even though it's going to be so bad, I think. Yeah, this one sucks. All of the tackles that are hidden are gone, so it's going to be Blake Fisher as our choice. Oof. And for the wheel, looks to be guard. And they took the dev off of everybody. Millam doesn't have hidden anymore. Emory Jones doesn't have hidden. It's all cooked. Every dev is gone for the guys that were kind of, you know, hanging around a little bit with their lower overalls. They have purged the entire class. Guess we go Emory Jones. I don't really love the picks regardless. And I don't even know if I had the right scene on, but Emory Jones is the pick. No hidden devs at all. They're just all gone. Also realized I didn't have punter on there. I think what I did is I put kicker and punter together and somehow it got lost. The literal moment I put punter on, oh my lord. He's cheated. He's sold. Throw the whole video up. And no one cares that Michael Dixon is 29. He is still my favorite punter in the game. You can't stop me. Down to the last four positions. I cannot believe we have no long snapper or running back so far. And we're going to get one of the two. It looks like it's going to stop right at running back. Sucks that Monangai isn't higher dev. I know he's slow as hell, but super powerful. Fun player. Vidal. Is there anyone? No Samson either. Caleb Johnson, I suppose. We might have to rock Caleb Johnson here. LaQuint Allen. Trevor Etienne. Like, how many of these guys even have a hidden? Like, I don't even know if Caleb has hidden. He might not be either. He does. I mean, it's a pretty no-brainer to us. Caleb Johnson's going to be the choice. That is hands down the latest I have ever taken a running back in a fantasy draft. As we get long snapper now. We go with Hogan Hatton because he's 25 and he's not the worst of overall. The last two, wide receiver and corner. Obviously, we know what we're going to take after this one. We get wide receiver. We'll be taking corner on our own. Yes, we'll go Pat Bryant for the slot. Kind of on the slower side anyways. Is he a corner? Is he a safety? Well, he's a corner for us. Billy Bowman. And the rest of the draft shall be simulated by the AI. See what they give us. Quick look at some of the other guys that they picked up. They could not really have done much worse. They got a couple of young backup running backs, but overall, not the best work I've ever seen. I mean, there's some young-ish players in there, but overall, yeah, not the best. Not the best at all. This team's going to take a little bit of work. It's going to be the worst team in the league for a little bit, but I'm confident we can turn it around. Will we? I don't know, but I'm confident we can. All right, here is the roster for the year one team. There are a good amount of star pluses, but you don't know how they're going to develop, right? We might need a new QB. We might need a new running back. We might need a new wide receiver 1 and 2. O-line I think is fine, but maybe a new right tackle. Defensively, this is where the problems are, right? We need a couple linebackers probably. DT for sure, maybe 2. Edge rusher possibly. Corner 1 and 2 maybe. Strong safety we'll see. But with training camp helping out a little bit, it's not the worst. It is not the worst. I am starting to think that maybe, even though we are lower overall, we have high potential. Maybe we will do the wheel for the draft as well. I'm not sure, but maybe. All right, negotiations. We are going to be paying these players. Creed, 3-year, 48. Can't believe he didn't take it, but that's okay. Leo Chanel, a little expensive for a Sam linebacker, but it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Re-sign him to a long-term deal. Caleb Johnson, even if he's a backup, I'll do a 7-year deal. Doesn't matter. Even if he's a backup, he's worth that money. Beautiful. It was at $4 million per year. Ransaw, same situation. If we have to replace him because he doesn't develop, I'll take $4 million per year anyways. Anyone else? Creed Humphrey we're taking care of. Cam Ravel's normal dev too. Every year they do this. You know, they give the benefit of the doubt early, nothing really happens, and they're like, we're taking it back. You are no longer hidden. And yeah, not exactly the best season ever. 4-13. Been kind of thinking about edge DT so much, but I never really once thought about the quarterback position because I'm like, well, Anthony Richardson, he's still kind of young, but that's not necessarily true. He's a 75 overall, though, so unless there's a bona fide can't miss, I got to back out of this. Now, whatever, we'll just look at it with the transparent background. You know, unless there's a bona fide like starter, we'll probably give him another chance. Caleb Johnson, with a team like this, actually not terrible, believe it or not. Receivers, pretty low, especially for touchdowns. Yards are not great. O-line, oh my lord, Fisher, could you not? Pass rush, Turner with 10 sacks, Green with only 6, Carter with 3.5, that's unacceptable. I don't know what that's about. Barron, though, Darren Wallace, 10 interceptions combined. Aubrey, that's actually like elite kicking for Madden's terms, and then Dixon, good yards per punt, but yeah, not exactly the best draft. I'm debating what I want to do for this, because I want to do the wheel spin, but at the same time, I literally can't build a roster if I have no control at all. So I'm not really sure. Mahomes of the Rams wins MVP. Anything for us? We get nothing. That's tough. We're close on D-line, though. Or linebacker, actually. I thought it was D-line. Wallace at 2. Hopefully should have a couple of dev-ups, though. If not, that would be pretty devastating. Bears, Steelers in the Super Bowl. And the winner is the Steelers, 21-19. Let's take a look at the adjust lineup. No dev up for Anthony Richardson, who actually regresses a little bit. Williams doesn't really go up in overall too much. Yeah, not a great glow up for the offense. Defensively, Carter, what? Carter's an X factor? Those tackles for loss really got him the dev up, huh? 15 tackles for loss. A lot of tackles in general, too, but kind of wild. Leo Chanel goes to superstar. Big dev up for Barron. 83, about to be 84 overall with that dev up. Of course, we expected it with all those picks. What was it, 6 of them? Trevor Wallace, please. Nice. Dev up as well. Star dev. So the linebackers actually developed nicely. So we kind of put a little bit of a focus on the scouting for linebackers. We needed like 2. But now, I mean, you can almost argue we need none. But maybe you replace Nakobe Dean. Leo Chanel, though, superstar development trade, but that's because he was a Sam linebacker. That's like a free dev up because there's not really many teams with the sandbackers and they're just not great. But yeah, not a bad one. Some of the players went up higher than I thought, especially Johnson in 82 overall, normal dev. Let's take a look at retirements, which I imagine with how young of a team we chose, shouldn't have any, and we do not. Still debating on it. Like, do we maybe... I guess what we could do is put the, like, list of positions we need on the wheel, and that decides which one we go for first. Because again, I just don't think the wheel spin works for a rebuild after the fantasy draft. But like I said, if I do it for all the wheel, the positions we need, we could still get screwed, right? Like I would consider right tackle to be a need for us. Would I want to take a right tackle at, was this pick 6 probably? Pick 4? I forgot we have all these extra draft picks. Damn it, I shouldn't even chose the Jets. Probably not, right? Probably not, but yeah, I think that's going to be the plan. So we'll put quarterback on the list. Running back is still technically a need. A wide receiver is technically a need. Tackle is technically a need. DT for sure. Edge for sure. Linebacker, maybe safety and corner. We throw all those on the position wheel, and that's what we decide. And just also have no trade downs, just to make it as difficult as possible. I think that's the move. Either way, though, let's go to free agency where you're going to see a lot of running backs, maybe a lot of kickers and punters. Maybe we actually find ourselves a running back right now. Scattaboo, you can't do that to me. You cannot give me the opportunity to get Scattaboo. That's cheating. It's not fair. Luckily, he doesn't really want to be here, so it's going to make it a little easier, but we could easily brute force it at the same time. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to go through the draft, which is all right. Wheel spin it is throughout the rebuild. All right, we're in the draft, and with the pick, the draft pick we have, based on the season we had, is pick 4 overall. We've got a bunch of needs, so we're going to be spinning the wheel based on that, but the needs as of right now: QB, running back, wide receiver, sort of tight end, so I suppose we'll put tight end on the list as well. Linebacker, corner, DT, edge. So, I mean, about 4 or 5 positions on each side of the ball. So, with that wheel spin, we could get screwed over. Or, we could be forced into a QB pick, which, I mean, they look good. I don't know enough about them to be like, oh yeah, I for sure want these guys, but they look good. They're at least in the 70s, I imagine. But if I were to play this as a normal rebuild, where I would just take who I want, if Dre's there at 4, that's who I would take. I think Dre's good enough. I want someone to develop. I just didn't love the way Green developed, but at the same time, it's still early. Of course, we also do have corner. So my personal wish at 4, assuming both guys are here, edge or cornerback. We'll see if that's what we get. All right, we're at the wheel, and now that I think about it, we totally sold that fantasy draft. So if anyone wants to complain about us not having punter on there, just know that I forgot to add any, which is way worse, because we would have definitely landed at least 1 or 2 any's. Every time we do these, when we have the any on there, we always land like 1 or 2 in the first 15, 20 spots. This is also we're going to have is any in this one. So corner, edge is basically what any is. So we have double chances at corner, edge, sort of. Either way, let's spin it. Hope we get one of those positions early. Oh no, running back. Oh, dude, pick 4 overall running back. There's no one that good here. Well, Caleb might have to look for a new team. We'll have to see what we land here at the quarterback spot. Running back spot, I should say. I mean, I would say Peoples is probably the best. He's fast. I do like the other 2, though. That's the problem. I like these 2 guys as, you know, similar type builds, but you don't have to take them in the first round. Top 5, let alone. But yeah, I think if you had to choose one, it's going to be Cameron Peoples. Let's see. Maybe this is going to work out well for us. Pick 18, true talent. Oh my God. Well, running back's not really an issue anymore, so we will go to the wheel and hope for, I'm not sure what. I'm not even sure what's here. Quarterback. You know what? We can't even do QB. We don't even have anybody on the board. I'm at the respin. Both QBs are gone. Doesn't count because I literally don't have anyone else scouted at that spot. Or maybe I should have allowed that. Oh, we're screwed anyways. You get tight end. So either way, it's either take a QB you don't want or take a tight end you don't want. Oh, man, what a disaster. All right, so for tight end, I think Castro is by far the best one available. The thing is, though, there is a really fun tight end in Miles Austin, which has, like, you know, a sick Cowboys name, if you will, who's 6'9". Problem is, he doesn't look very good. And then you also have Norton, who is one of the more prototypical fast tight end builds, who might be superstar dev. I've seen a lot of them like that. But yeah, Ben Castro's definitely the guy. That's who we're taking. 8 true talent, hidden development trade. He is a good pick, at least. Problem is, he's a backup. Not really sure why I even had tight end on the board, to be honest with you. No edge, no corner, though. That's tough. Wide receiver. We might get lucky here. We actually might get lucky. And we do. We have Bell, who's not the fastest, but he's a decent player. And then the guy I'm obviously going to be taking, Eric Acosta, super fast. That is, I don't know, wide receiver 2. He's probably going to be normal dev, sadly. I will say, while these haven't been the ideal positions we've taken, these are very good players. And now he is hidden. 99 speed hidden dev. I mean, say what you will, but this could have definitely went worse. Oh, you know what we should have had? We should have had like a trade back on our list here. Cornerback, I think it's going to be a little late. Ooh, maybe DT. The cornerback's a little late there, though, pal. And, of course, I just so happen to have one final cornerback pick, which, I mean, he's not very good, but he's tall with good catching. I've always banked on the tall guys with catching. So, 70 overall, maybe? 69? Normal development rate. Yeah, he's slow as hell, but, yeah, I believed in the catching, which it's not the worst pick. It's definitely not a good pick for the second round, but it's not the worst pick I've ever had. If we get any, it's going to be hard for me not to pass on, it's going to be hard to pass on the tall tight end. Edge? I don't have edge, unfortunately. But I'm willing to force it on Jimmy Copeland. So, whatever. Beef it as B, C power move, C tackle, 142 true talent. Dev? Never. Lucky. And at this rate, the only position I even have left is wide receiver, so there's not even point in spinning the wheel. We're just going to take Jason Blair, 6'3", he's decently fast. He's got good for, like, every trait. 93 true talent with normal dev. That's a fun draft pick, though. And then the rest, we're just going to take what we want, which, I mean, it's really not going to be anything we want, but maybe a long snapper. I think we already signed our long snapper long term, though. Ooh, maybe found a generational kicker, J.J. Klein. 8 kick accuracy, elite kick power, 26 true talent. He is. Damn, we actually landed a really good draft, even though a lot of the positions aren't really the number one need. I will say the wheel spin gets a little bit better next year because our needs list has dropped even more. Maybe should have looked for punter, but we're going to take Doug Nicholson, 115 true talent fullback. All right, draft recap. What do we do? How do we do? I mean, if that running back was hidden dev, dude, we would have been not in a bad spot at all. 5'8", 94 speed, 93 excel. Giving me Breece Hall vibes very fittingly. Do you start him anyways? We'll have to see what Caleb Johnson's overall is, but I think he's in the 80s. Castro, though. I might have to use the knowledge of his dev to decide if he starts or not. I like Kyle Pitts, but this guy's got a lot of potential, too. He's Superstar Plus. Dude, I don't know. I was feeling Superstar Plus as well. That's why I said it. I don't know. 78 overall for Acosta. Really crazy high overall. He's definitely wide receiver 2 no matter what the dev is. Star or X Factor, which definitely will be star, but still ridiculous speed. Give me something in the singular digits, number 1. And then we didn't even land an offensive lineman because they're all gone by then. The corner wasn't terrible. He's definitely going to be garbage for us, but banking on catching definitely didn't work out for us. Definitely didn't work out. Copeland, 68 overall edge. Not a huge fan of that either. Wide receiver, little curious, can't lie. I mean, you could probably develop that, right? He's tall. We won't, but you could. And then J.J. Klein, 80 accuracy, 99 kick power. Let's see how screwed we are, or were, because this was the worst draft of all time to not draft normally, because we could have had Dre and the cornerback. So let's take a look how good these two guys were. Dre did suspect there was a chance at normal. The guys with great finesse, a little bit of speed, and that's basically it. Almost always normal, but obviously very high overall. And then the crazy part is the corner went 1 pick after where we were going to take him too. We would have had both of these guys, and obviously Whitehead, definitely very good. Hidden development trait with crazy speed, and he's an X factor. That's tough. That is tough, but that's the challenge of the rebuild. We're kind of winging it, kind of going, making the rules as we go, which I think is all right. I think we've done okay for ourselves. I think it's been fun. Maybe the wheel knows more than we know, because Mike Green just got a dev up to superstar. Okay, we'll take it. All right, here's the team for year 2. We are going to start Peoples because Caleb's only a 78, so if Peoples just has a great year, which he probably won't, he's a rookie, we can develop him, and he's just, I don't know. Speed is king to me. So, yeah. I mean, think about all the good running backs in the league. How many of them are under 91 speed? Not many. There really isn't. Offensive line, it's amazing. Except for right tackle. Left tackle's not great either, but good enough. He's developing. Right tackle, definitely need a new one. QB, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then defensively, still need that damn DT, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, squad's not bad, especially with Mike Green going up to superstar dev. Definitely a huge dev up there. All right, $165 million. These linemen are getting a little expensive, but we'll pay them. Shamar, Mike Green. I mean, these are all really, decent contracts, but it does add up. I mean, I think we could pay all the guys you'd expect to pay, right? I think Nakobe Dean might be let go, perhaps. But we'll see. Kyle Williams, I think at that price you keep him. Mike Green, obviously. Turner, obviously. Pitts, at this point, yeah. Even though our backup tight end is a superstar. Fashanu, yes. Miners, I think you have to, right? How much is this? 25-ish per year. Obviously, it gets cheaper the longer term we go. I mean, it's unfortunate it's red interest. Is it because we're terrible? No, it's just not interested, huh? Let's do one of these. 5-year 90. Okay, we're probably close. Pitts. Boom. Shamar Turner. Boom. Mike Green. This one probably doesn't cost too much. Nice. I'm just hoping he plays well, because obviously that superstar dev has completely shifted my mind. Nakobe Dean, dude. I don't know. Money's expensive. We'll see. So this is not good, because we went 5-12. That's bad in general, obviously. But I moved to the Falcons O and Bills D halfway through the year, and it changed nothing. So maybe the playbooks don't matter that much, at least in a situation where the league is pretty much even across the board. QB, definitely on the board. Definitely a list of needs. 0 touchdowns. EA, how is this even possible? How is it possible to code a game this bad? It is literally impossible to be the starting running back all year and have 0 touchdowns. I don't know if it's ever happened in history. I highly doubt it. Like, the worst season I can ever think of is like 4 touchdowns. 212 carries, 0 touchdowns. And, you know, if Caleb Johnson had 15 or 20 touchdowns, okay, there's an argument to be made that, you know, we just put him in the goal line and people just didn't have any long runs, which, of course, you could see 9 yards is the long. That's a joke, too. But that's not what happened. We had 3 rushing touchdowns. What a joke, dude. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Pass rush, disaster as well. I got to stop using these bad teams in these, because the EA sees Jets aren't going to do well. Jets lose. That's what's in the coding. Not thinking about, well, you do realize that users can come in and change that team, right? You do realize that, right? Did get Rookie of the Year with Acosta, thankfully, but yeah, that's not looking too promising going forward. Also, if you couldn't tell, I am sick for the second time in like 2 months. Hooray. It has been a while. Like, honestly, the last 5 years, I don't even know if I was sick like maybe more than once or twice. 2 times in a year. I'm croaking it. It's happening. Jaguars 34-6. Caleb Johnson still higher overall, even though people started the whole year. What a great season we just had. What a great year indeed. At least Acosta had a good year, thankfully. Let's take a look at the defensive side of the ball, where there's no way we got to dev up. Actually, we did get Trevin Wallace, but that's about it. Just horrible. Just a horrible year. Negotiations, we did take care of all the other contracts, but as you can tell, we're already pretty damn broke. Paying offensive lineman, not exactly the best decision, it appears. Looking at free agency, we could go Trey Benson. I'd have to see how he's playing, because I need somebody that's proven, because, you know, Caleb wasn't actually that bad, but Peoples, you know, we drafted him 4 overall. I kind of had no choice but to give him a chance to start. But yeah, that obviously did not work. It just did not. Trey Benson, what are the numbers looking like? Yep, I know he wasn't a starter, but no. No. All right, to be fair, we have a lot of really good draft picks. You'll see in a moment, but these are the needs that we have. So we are going to be spinning the wheel to see what we take first, which will be defensive tackle, probably the worst we could have pulled. All right, here we are with pick 3 overall. Would have loved to see a generational DT or something like that, but not going to be lucky with that. But yeah, look at the draft picks. We have 3, 5, 6. Absolutely absurd. Defensive tackle. We got a bunch of them. I just don't know who the best is. You're going to have to take a look and make the decision based on what we see, which kind of tough because Crowther is the best, like, straight up with that A power move, but Childs also looks pretty good. Earl Childs, 41 reps, looks pretty good. Crowther is a top 5, though. A power move. I've not really taken a player like this before, right? Like 6'4", 295, but he's not the fastest, but he is strong. So that's who I'm going to take. I'm guessing 77 overall normal. Ooh. 6 true talent. Hidden dev, though. Not the slowest player in the world, and really good strength. That was a great draft pick. And with that, I don't really think we need DT, so we will be moving on to pick 5 and spinning the wheel again, which we land a really good pick. With the DT we got, I'm actually really happy with what happened, and then now, really good, because we got the corner, which, honestly, I don't even know if we really need, because Arnold's actually developing better than I would have thought. And now we have the cornerbacks, which look ridiculously good. We've got 3 top 5s, which is just absurd. Like, I've never seen this before. 2 A's for Eli Chaney. I mean, if that isn't a great player, I don't know what is. So Eli Chaney is going to be the guy. 4 true talent. Took him at 5. Hidden Dev. What a draft pick. And now, I mean, this is a luxury pick. Honestly, if you land QB, this is the perfect draft, which we have a chance at. It's going to stop short. No way I'm taking linebacker pick 6 overall. That's crazy. And I think the best of the bunch, even though he's not the fastest in the world, is Mitch Oden. Looks the best to me. But it might be because the rest of the class sucks at that spot. Ooh, 45 true. But Hidden Dev, there you go. And with QB being gone, the last position of need is O-line, I suppose. Although this guy's still there. Do I spin the wheel? I'm going to spin the wheel. Edge isn't a huge need, but the value is immense there, so hopefully they give us edge. Slow down. There you go. So I wouldn't even need to spin the wheel. Trevor Burton's going to be our guy. This looks like a steal and a half. Trevor Burton, let's go. 43 true talent. Probably normal dev. Hidden? What a trap. All right, the rest of the picks are going to be all offensive linemen. And at this point, we might be done spinning the wheel going forward because unless we can't afford anybody, we don't actually have a need. Going into draft 3, we might be literally set. I mean, other than QB, which obviously we're not spinning against anything. If all we need is QB, we'll just grab a QB. Ramon Sullivan, all we need is 1 hidden dev lineman, and it's factual. And there you go. Every other pick from now on out is literally QB or whatever we want. We have no other positional need unless we just can't afford somebody. Maybe a contract comes up here, but that's kind of crazy. Problem is, we're 5-12, so does it really matter? Does it really matter if we feel like we have no needs? This guy was a little risky, I will say. 69. He is hidden, though. He is hidden. But yeah, this team is in a weird spot. Like, we have all the starters. We have a lot of high overall players, but we just aren't playing well. Again, I do think that is just because we're the Jets, but that also doesn't change the fact that we have to somehow figure out a way to change that. Looking at our new right tackle, potentially, by the way, Cameron Hansen. 85 true. Hidden dev. There you go. He has the most prototypical size for a right tackle, so that's probably where we're going to be putting him. And we're going to go for another lineman. We didn't get like any last year. Now we have all of them. 25 true. Wow, the guy we left last is actually the best based on true talent. And the final pick of the draft is going to be Mr. Ricardo Barner. 22 true talent with hidden dev. Actually, was everybody hidden? I think every single player we drafted was hidden dev. Draft recap, how did we do? How did we do? Not bad at all. DT, 77 overall. This guy's a freak. Great injury, great toughness, and stamina. Hit power is solid. Block shit and power move are ridiculous. I'd imagine star dev, but if he's higher than star, this is a hell of a draft pick. I mean, it's a hell of a draft pick anyways, but I figured he would be star, but still, it's a great draft pick. This cornerback, I think he's going to be our corner 3, but, you know, if Arnold needs a contract and things aren't looking good money-wise, damn, look at that man in zone, both 80s. Injury of 45. You still can't convince me that that's not a bug. Like, you just can't convince me that that's how they, like, it's either it's a bug and somehow they haven't fixed it, or they're brain dead. Because the most injury-prone players in the world would also have really bad toughness. You wouldn't just have bad injury, you'd also have bad toughness, because you're always out, right? But Mitch Oden, I mean, I guess we start him at will linebacker, move Nakobe to Sam, even though we just paid Nakobe. It's just, I think this guy wins Rookie of the Year, and, you know, he's a 84 overall, possibly. So, he's already better than Nakobe at that point with a higher dev, and he's younger. So, I think that's pretty obvious. Burton, can't believe he was hidden dev. That was a little bit of a shock to me. Really good draft pick. Better than the guy we were going to take if it was our choice a year ago with Dre. Burton is any superstar. We're completely wasting him. He's not going to start unless, again, we can't afford Abdul Carter, which he hasn't played well. This is the only time I have ever seen him play badly. And it just so happens to be, actually, it's going to be Sullivan because he's a higher overall. It's when we're the Jets. Who would have thought? You know? In game, for some reason, the Giants they're always good in sim, which I don't get because they're not really good in real life for the last, like, decade. But still. Then the last player I want to see is Barner. Ricardo Barner. Doesn't really matter his dev. He's just a nose tackle. Here we are for this season number 3 team. We are looking good, but our win-loss ratio has not looked good over the last few years. But look at the teams now. We talked about it in the draft. The real only need you could argue is probably QB, maybe running back, but probably QB. So the wheel spin, I think, is done. Unless we go broke, I think the wheel spin is done for the rest of this rebuild. All right, let's see how screwed we are. So we only have to pay Abdul Carter, who I have to admit has not really even been worth it. He is having his best year yet, but it is so far not been worth it. We can barely afford him and Anthony Richardson, so could be time to move on from Richardson. I can't lie, as he hasn't played well either. But let's see. 5 touchdowns, 3 picks. I think it's time to move on. I truly do. We'd be broke as hell. I don't think he's been good. We just got to hope there's a good quarterback in the draft, which most of the time so far it has not been. I'm not exactly sure what you do if you have one of the best teams in the league and you can't make the playoffs. I know we're trending in the right direction, but looking at the team, I mean, we're right up there with the rest of them, if not better than everybody, and yet here we are missing the playoffs, 92 overall. The next highest was 91. It's not really moving along the way we'd want, right? 8-3, 8-9. I will say, though, admittedly, like usual with a lot of these rebuilds, it is definitely trending towards a year 4 Super Bowl. I don't know what it is about that year 4 that does it. In normal situations, okay, maybe it's just teams run out of money, right? They just don't draft well, and, that's when we can really overtake. But this isn't the case, right? This is a fantasy draft rebuild, so, money isn't a concern. Teams should be able to afford every single player they want, and based on free agency, it seems like that's been the case. Carter kind of tricked us. 4 sacks in 3 weeks, finishes with 9.5. That's definitely not a great finish compared to the start. Mike Green, very good. Crowther, really solid, could be Rookie of the Year. Turner was good, not as good, but, picks were low. Kicking was all right. Punting was amazing. Kick return, punt return game was okay. No touchdowns, though. Yearly awards, MVP goes to Mahomes. Anything for us? DT was number 2 for Rookie of the Year. A couple of Dolphins award wins, and yep, another playoff year missed. I don't know. Are we moving on from our quarterback? I don't have the money to pay him, I don't think. Winner of the bowl is the Titans, apparently. We have $58 million, so we can afford Anthony Richardson, who is still normal dev, mind you. Running back situation, I guess Peoples our guy. Igbuka finally, superstar dev. Fashanu finally gets up there a little bit, and overall, defensively, I don't know if anyone went up in dev here. Not that anyone really needed to, though. Odin didn't really do as much as I was hoping he would. Definitely wouldn't have any retirements, but maybe, a mentor type or a backup. But let's go to re-signings. I don't know. I guess you pay Richardson. He wasn't really great, but damn, that money is hitting a lot harder now. If we would have just paid him when we had a chance. 2-year 88. I'll do a 2-year 88, I guess. Teams in shambles money-wise, though, I will admit. We'll pay Dixon for 1 more year, but yeah, if it comes down to him or like a safety, yeah, I'm going to probably keep the safety. Looking at free agency, Troy Franklin is there, but yeah, I mean, most of these fantasy draft rebuilds, unless we're going 0 overall rebuild, we don't touch free agency often. All right, I've picked 10 overall. I don't really know if there's a need on the team. We just paid our quarterback a 2-year 10. There's no real way to get rid of him. I scouted QB further. They don't look great, so with that being said, we're moving along to a different position group. What position group is that? I don't know. This might be the first time we actually do a trade down. What an offer by Cleveland, though. Let me tell you. Just, hey, you want to move back 3 spots out of the kindness of your heart? I don't, believe it or not. I actually would prefer not to. I also did look... Ooh, that's an interesting one. That is an interesting one. Ooh. Falcons and Dolphins, interdivisional. I got to see what each team looks like at the QB spot. Falcons have a really good scheme. I mean, yeah, that's exactly. Oh, they got Drake May, though. Dude, can I see the standings? AFC. Dolphins were 11-6. Falcons were 11-6. I guess I just take the Falcons because they're giving me more capital. There you go. 2 years from now, but we can always trade those picks up if we have to. Yeah. Falcon scheme seems to be working for them pretty well because shucks, a freaking X Factor. What was Superstar, X Factor, whatever. Looks great, though. Who was that round oneer, by the way? I just didn't even have him on my board. Edge rusher, that's why I don't really need edge rusher. pretty impressive with that speed, though. I can't lie. This pick, though, is going to be Tommy Mason. Because, again, I looked in the future, and we have quite the freaking needs. Let me tell you. Normal dev for that guy. Safety here at pick 10 might be the move. Like, we are... I'll be real with you. If we don't win it in year 4, I definitely don't think we're winning a Super Bowl in this rebuild. Which, again, it's okay. It's supposed to be a challenge rebuild, and if you win every single challenge rebuild like we kind of have over the course of the year, it's not really much of a challenge then, is it? Right? It's kind of just a weird rebuild. 1 and 2, 1 and 2 true talent's good, but I don't know if I love that. I think that first free safety is who we're going to go for. Could be a future replacement for Antonio. Jeff Miller, 6'2", weird like Excel/agility stuff, but pure straight line speed looks good. Sadly, another normal dev. Now in the 3rd round, do you take this linebacker? Pretty damn fast. Grant Young, we don't really even need linebacker, but maybe he plays safety for all we know. 33 true talent. Dev of hidden. Thank the Lord we finally got a hidden. And then the rest of these picks, probably going to be DT and offensive lineman, because we have like 3 O-line. It's bad. All I'm just going to say, this is probably going to be one of our biggest pre-year 5 losses in a single season in a fantasy draft we've ever done. It's really bad. Let me tell you, it is not looking good. We're going to take DT Tito Felix, 91 true talent. Hidden dev. I mean, he looked better than the other guys, so 91 true talent actually surprised me a little bit. And then we take a guard, Alton Hill, 26 true talent. Hidden dev, really good strength. That could be another tackle in the future, too. I think we need a new left tackle because McCoy needs a contract, and all these guys that need contracts, their cap hit this year is like 4 to 5 mil. Yeah, those guys are going to be asking for a lot more than that going forward. It's really, again, it is really bad. Do you go with the 6'6" wide receiver? Rashad Brooks. These guys are always normal dev, but you never know. Well, we do know because they're always normal dev. All right, look on the draft. In fairness, that wide receiver is sick. He's just like me. I can feel the sickness in my nose. It's terrible. But yeah, 78 overall, fast. Jeff Miller, 74 overall, normal dev. Really just disappointing. And then Grant Young. Strong safety? Perhaps. Maybe. Pretty standard draft, though. Ironically enough, the one draft we kind of have free reign on, we have our worst draft yet, technically. Obviously, a lot less draft picks to roll with, which, if we fail this rebuild, damn. EA really shafted us because we had all those great draft picks and still it wasn't enough. All right, year 4, honestly, do or die. Like, really, with the way this roster is about to change with the losses in free agency, things are going to get a little worse. But as of right now, the team looks great. It should be a Super Bowl team. It is the highest overall team in the league. But so far, we haven't even been able to make the playoffs. See if that changes here today. And like I said, look at this. Oh my. This is bad. This is what our situation looks like, and that doesn't even count next year's, rookie class. So, I don't know. I guess based on what we have, you keep Igbuka because we already have 2 corners, but we're about to lose Arnold as well. Yeah, this is really bad. We're cooked. Of all the players to keep, Johnson's one of them. I guess. Try to keep as many players as possible. So Wallace is gone. Barron is gone. Arnold is gone. Trevor Wallace is gone. Greed Humphrey is gone. And I think McCoy was in there, right? And we're 0-2 to start. Fantastic. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know. This is crazy. This is what the scheme was that we rocked. We were a 95 overall that missed the playoffs by a lot. It wasn't like we were 10-7, we barely missed. This is a horrible miss. 6-11 as a 95 overall. This is crazy. I don't know. It's got to be something bugged in the coding, right? It has to be, because honestly, this doesn't really happen to us anymore in realistic style rebuilds, where it's non-fantasy draft. Something to do with the fantasy draft that's doing it, or just Anthony Richardson or something. I don't know. I don't know what else to say, because this is actually the worst we've ever had. This is genuinely the worst rebuild we've ever had in terms of team compared to success or lack thereof. We have never had one this bad before. 6-11 with a 95 overall team. If I remember correctly, the highest overall after us was 91, right? 92, maybe? Definitely not higher than that, though. That's wild. I mean, we'll do a final season, but if we're going to be real with you, there's really no point. If we couldn't win it with the team we have now, how are we going to win it when we're like 88 overall? Looking at the dev ups, Anthony Richardson still is a normal overall for dev. Defensively, any dev ups? Ransaw goes to superstar. What a disaster, though. What an actual disaster of a rebuild. Nothing we could do. I mean, I've even tried to go with the OP playbooks, and that's not worked either. We're negative in cap, and we have all these players to re-sign. Oof. Let's take a look at what that overall looks like after all this. Apparently, it's a 92. I still don't know if I agree with that, though. I think there's, like, guys playing double positions. Maybe not. I guess, to be fair, we drafted O-line really well, so even though we lost, like, all of our linemen, we're still in a good spot. We lost 2 of our linemen, but we're still in a good spot. What else do we need? So, I mean, we even have linebackers, I suppose. You really just need a corner. We just got to draft corner high, and that's... I guess it was just a lot of offensive linemen, and obviously Barron was a big one, and Arnold, but overall, could be worse. Can't believe it costed this much to make this play, but all of this for Jeromepkr, who's a 90 overall. He has a 3-year contract. Doesn't really hurt us in salary cap too much. With that, though, that, like, kind of resets us back to not needing much at all. So, yeah, I mean, we're in an okay spot after all of that, and technically Young could be our middle linebacker, so there's really not a position we need at this point, even after all of that loss. But for my final act, I am cutting corners. I am sick of the run game sucking. We're trading all of this for Jahmyr Gibbs. We actually have more money than ever because we don't have any of the rookie class to worry about, and we don't have to waste our time with the draft in general. Should have actually taken a look at free agency, by the way, but Creed Humphrey, obviously our former player. Trevin Wallace could actually bring him back, perhaps, now that we have money, since we don't have to pay any rookies. But, yeah, just the majority of free agency is our players, really. That's all there is to it. Yeah, very expensive, though. I mean, our compensatory picks would be crazy. Ridiculous. All right, we're bandaged up and good to go. This is what the team looks like for the final season, no matter what. Even if we miss the playoffs entirely, this whole rebuild, there's no point. We should have made the playoffs by year 2. At worst, year 3. It's year 5 now. We have not made the playoffs yet. There's nothing more we can do at this point. Team's got talent across the board. Every single skill position player on the offense is a 90+. O-line definitely took a hit, but it's still good. And then defense took a little bit of a hit, but it's still good. This is a playoff team. The year before it was a playoff team. The year before that it was a playoff team. Yet we have yet to see it. I'm hoping that this is the one. All right, a contract situation. Acosta definitely can afford him. Castro could afford him, but do you want to? Richardson, I think you definitely move on. He hasn't been that good, and that is a crippling contract. You cannot afford that. Like, that is literally all the money we have right now, let alone having to pay Chaney and potentially Odin and then Crowther. No, I just don't think he has been worth losing the entire roster over. There's other quarterbacks in the league that it's worth it, but not him. He has just not been the guy. Like, this would literally leave us with, like, nothing. I don't even care if he wins MVP this year. He's gone. Not that it matters for us. So we have finally made the playoffs, but honestly, more due to the fact that the division itself sucked. But, yeah, we had a pretty good start of the year and just completely fell off. But we do finish 10-7. We get that home field game. Ridiculous, though. I mean, once again, the best team in the league, and we barely sneak in. Look at this now. 6-1 was that. Maybe better than that. 8-1. What? 8-1, and then we lost 6 of the last 9, was that? Holy. 6 of the last 8? Oh my god, dude. This team. I don't know what it is, but I am absolutely going to do everything I can to will this team to a Super Bowl win. I do not care. I don't care if I have to come in on 3rd down. Usually we, kind of limit to 4th downs, but Carter's been terrible this whole rebuild too. But yeah, I will be going in on 3rd down if I need to. We are winning a Super Bowl with our very only berth with this jank-ass rebuild. I don't know what the hell went wrong with this one, but EA's they gotta look within. They gotta do something, because this just ain't cutting it. Like, the worst part is every year, the gameplay is still like, there's issues, right? There's issues, especially when you're playing the actual game, like in the game, the animations and stuff like that. But then they make decisions like the coaching abilities and making rookies super juiced for XP no matter what the sliders are on. And it makes it worse. I get not having a huge leap and making the game way better every year, but we can't go backwards, right? Back in the day, it used to be, oh, it's the same game every year. No, it's not. I wish it was. It's worse. And it's all their game. It's their entire catalog. That's the craziest part. Other than maybe like Battlefield or like the Star Wars games, even that Star Wars games kind of got worse over time a little bit, which aren't sports games. That's literally the case with the company. It steps backwards. I don't know. I want to say they're trying, but at the same time, it's just, hey, look, average Caleb Williams playoff performance. Lol, dude. But yeah, it's just, I don't know what's going on. I really don't. Damn, they really made a lot of mistakes. 3 picks, 2 missed field goals. Can't really win playoff games like that. And now we have the Ravens, 94 to their 89. These are like the talents of the league over the years, and we're the ones missing. All right, the Ravens. Good start. It's only a field goal, though. They get a field goal back. We get a touchdown. They get a touchdown as well. Huge drive. It's a field goal. I was about to say we managed the clock well, but they're literally answering every score we have with their own score. Defense is doing its job. Offense got to just hold on. Hold on, offense. And that's it. That's the touchdown. We're moving on to the championship round. All right. This was an ugly rebuild through 4 seasons. The 5th season has been the magic, if you will. Richardson wasn't amazing, but he was good enough. Run game, I guess he had 2 touchdowns. Offense had 3 in general. Defense was pretty locked down, though, I must say. Championship round. What do we got? The Titan, dude. If we lose to the Titans, please. All right, going to the end of the game. Titans get 3. We get 6. No extra point, apparently. Down by 4. 17 to 6. 17 to 13. Oh, Lord. Defense clutching up hard. 24 to 13. 24 to 21. Defense gets the pick. Offense is just struggling. Punt. Again, defense is doing its job. Offense driving down. They're going to be forced to kick a field goal, which is missed because Brandon Aubrey's horrible. 3rd and 6. They get the conversion, and they win the game. All right. I thought we were just going to get the stop at some point, and I guess not. We have lost to the Titans. Beautiful work, fellas. Beautiful. And, okay, I guess maybe I'm not wrong for holding on to the ball a little bit because we can't catch a contested ball anyways. That is going to be it. What a lackluster one. But we did get the championship round. We've said it many times, especially in a challenge rebuild. If you get to the championship round, it's at least a tie of a rebuild. Considering we had no playoff berths before this, I'm going to call it a draw. I'm not going to say we won. I'm not going to say we lost. I'm going to call it a draw. Looking at the numbers, I mean, Richardson didn't even play that badly. We just couldn't score. His team could not score, I guess. Give a couple of big touchdowns, it seems, as well. Yeah, you look, and of course, the missed extra point or field goal doesn't help, but yeah, you look at the numbers. I don't see it. I don't see how we lost. Just a lot of yards given up, but offense just struggled enough where they just didn't put enough points up, I guess. Let's go to the Super Bowl, see who wins this one. Last one was the Cowboys, I believe. Was it? Or was it the year before? Cowboys are in it now, though. I'll tell you that much. And will they win it? And they don't. It's the Titans. Take a look at the league history real quick. Cowboys did win it the year before. Titans and Cowboys are just the 2 teams doing it, I guess. Either way, though, that's going to be it. Let's take a look at the team. Wow, Eric McCoy straight up retired, by the way. But here's what the team looked like. 2 DevOps. Kind of crazy. 1, Miners, who's an X-Factor. He's a lineman, in case you're wondering. And then 2, Anthony Richardson finally goes to star development trait. We're still losing ratings because that's just how the bug that has not been fixed into just about February now is. I also didn't look because this isn't the type of rebuild where you start at a starting point, but if I'm not mistaken, we're still at week 16 for the starting point, by the way. Fantastic. Just absolute legends over there. They know what they're doing. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about a thing. You got issues that need to be fixed? They'll be fixed by the next Madden, but they'll be fixed. Maybe. Perhaps. What else do we have? Did we look at pits? Did we look at those pits? 91 overall. Some of you guys out there, I know what kind of freaks you are. You're into that kind of thing. Don't be looking my way. Hey, if that's your thing, that's your thing. Yeah, it ain't bothering me until it is. Then if it's bothering me, go away, please. Thank you very much. Take a look at Antonio Johnson. The strong safety, normal dev, never went up in dev. Great hit power. Speed looking good. The rest of the defense, Leo Chanel. Feel like we haven't heard of his name like all rebuild. Probably because he's the same linebacker, which, what a wasted opportunity. Then we have Odin, 85 overall, pretty sick name. Great block shedding. Hate hearing the word sick. Gives me current PTSD. I don't even know what that would be. CTSD, I guess. Grant Young looking pretty good. More balanced than I would have thought. That coverage is bad, but not as bad as some other guys on the team. Then we look at the corners. Jacob Parrish, we only just brought him in, but he is very good. Then we look at the other side where Cheney was the backup for a while. Finally gets a start. He's pretty good too. Pretty good indeed. Needs to get that press up a little bit more, but man is really good as is. Then we look at D-line where I cannot believe how bad Abdul Carter played. I know he had a couple, I think, double-digiters, but no, he had 0 double digits. That is hands down the worst I've ever seen him play, and the hands down worst I've ever seen a 95-plus overall play. That is so bad. Yeah, there's something. I don't know if it's just more teams are balanced because you have less teams like burying their own talent, if you will. If you have a really good right tackle, your backup tackle's 83 overall, they're being wasted. Whereas in a fantasy draft, that 83 overall is being drafted somewhere else and started. Maybe that's the case. But yeah, there's just something weird about fantasy drafts where players just don't play like they're supposed to. Who the hell is that? Oh, Felix is an X Factor. I was like, who the hell is this guy? All right, so I mean, the DT position's pretty set. Didn't we grab him in like the 3rd round? Let's actually see. It's actually crazy. 4th round DT with X Factor. That is one of the best gems I've seen in CPU, at least from the CPU created classes. But anyways, that is going to be it for this challenge rebuild here on Madden 26. Guess it was too much of a challenge. If you have any ideas you want to see in the future, let me know. If you just want to see challenge rebuilds in general, let me know. Maybe by leaving a like, that'll help me out. And probably no upload tomorrow, but Saturday we will have probably Packers franchise and possibly Dolphins franchise, and then another rebuild on Sunday. A lot of content as always going forward, so leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for new, hit the bell notification all so you know when the next upload is up. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PKR Plays for non-Madden content, and pray for me that this sickness goes away. It doesn't feel as bad as the other one. I think this is just an annoying sickness that, messes up my voice and my nose a little bit, but I think I'll be better in like a day or two. I think even maybe if we're lucky by Saturday, things sound back to normal. Hopefully. Either way, I appreciate y'all for watching. I'll let you guys come back for next video, but until next video,